Elite boys' school in Cape Town is asking past pupils who were abused to come forward. The audit goes back to the school's founding in 1914. Western Province Preparatory School headmaster Simon Weaver says they want to make sure this does not happen again and would like ideas on how to make the school hurt-free in the future. It's part of a national reckoning in schools thanks to the crusade, initially of Dion Wiggett. His award-winning podcasts about school paedophiles means schools can no longer make these cases go away quietly. And he's on the line with us now. Dion, as I said before, when we were in rehearsal, my congratulations to you and so much admiration to you for your bravery and all the work that you've done to expose what's been happening in our schools for years and nobody ever wanted to talk about it. This groundbreaking audit at WETPAPS or Western Province, your take on that?
I think it's one of the most important things to happen in our education system in years. I think it is a trailblazing moment from Western Province Prep School. They and I cannot see why every school in South Africa should not be doing the same thing. Schools are in a unique position to figure out everything that happened there. I mean, the school is right there, the records are right there, the children are right there. And when you have the will to do something about it, like Western Province Prep School is so clearly demonstrating, I mean, it's not just because it feels good to talk about these things and get it out into the open, but it is incredibly important to the survivors. Because once you get acknowledged, you see that you are not alone, you're not the only one who went through all of this stuff, you were not a uniquely special victim. It gives you opportunities to heal, it gives you opportunities to look forward. And I'm already hearing from other schools saying, well, wow, why are we not doing the same thing? Indeed, why not?
Dion, most of the schools that have hit the headlines have been elite boys' schools, but it must be happening in girls' schools and state schools and schools that are for lower income learners. Why are we hearing so little about those schools?
Well, I mean, because we really start where the story takes us. This is a massive problem, not just in South Africa, but throughout the world. My investigations kind of, took me to some elite boys' schools because that's where all of the stuff was coming from. And there's a particular issue with these incredibly self-regarding private elite schools that, snitches get stitches, as they say in jail and at high school. In the previous investigations, we revealed a number of predatory teachers from DSG in Makanda, the former Grahamstown, which is a girls' school. There's no false sense of safety in a boys' school, but, that said, a boys' school is, in my view, particularly dangerous, if extraordinarily expensive place to send your child to school.
There are two issues that I wonder are going to be challenging. The one is schools scared of reputational risk, and the other is how many former pupils do you think want to come forward and actually expose the fact that they have been survivors of sexual abuse?
Well, I mean, it's only hard to say so at the beginning. I'm a survivor of childhood sex abuse, and in the beginning, it's kind of, you're like, am I doing the right thing by talking about it? However, the shame does not belong to me. The shame belongs to the perpetrator. And I think what we've now managed to reach a point is where the reputational risk to schools in covering these things up is far greater than the reputational risk of going, hey, we are a school and we got what schools get sometimes, which is predatory teachers. Predators go to where the children are, and children go to school. So if you are a school, you are going to attract those people to, they want to be employed by schools. They want access to the children. So it's not a matter of reputation. This is an element of society. This is a way for us to go, let's do something about something tangible that is not the fault of the school necessarily. There's no scandal or reputational drama in being the employer of a predatory teacher. The scandal and the shame is when you find out about these things happening and you then continue to do nothing about it and hope that it will go away. It is no longer going to go away, as the Western Province Prep School is showing us.
I'd certainly be attracted to sending my boys to a school if they were going to go to all-boys schools that did launch such an initiative, because I'd feel that the school was being very progressive and was certainly on it, if you like. But when I was at the Children's Sexual Offences Court on that beat, I remember a lot of grown men coming to me with their stories and feeling a huge amount of shame and not wanting to even tell their families about it. And that stigma has just got to go.
You're entirely right, eNCA. But I mean, it is the common response to acknowledgement of sex abuse is to feel a misplaced shame, because you know all of this stuff has been done to you, but nonetheless you kind of are in this position where you try to take agency, where you try to say, oh, well, you know, all of it was my fault. I shouldn't have been there. I shouldn't have done that. Well, your teacher should not have put you in that position. I mean, what does a 14-year-old or a 12-year-old or a 10-year-old understand about these matters that that adults are asking them to somehow integrate into their lives? But you know, there's no appropriate reaction for an 8-year-old to a sexual advance. So yeah, I do think the example that's being placed that's being made by Western Province Prep School is a hugely important intervention, and I would strongly encourage all schools to do the same and to reach out to me or to other media outlets, because this is not about going, oh, bad school, terrible thing happened at Bishop's, terrible thing happened at St. John's. It's about saying, these are the things that have happened. Let us try to, as a society and as a schooling system and as compassionate people who care about children, let us try to do better.
Thank you so much, activist and survivor Dion Wiggett there leading the charge. Thanks for your time today. Well,